Don't worry, this isn't a stuffy tournament. No blazers, no pressure, just cold drinks, good vibes, and unforgettable memories. Presented by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and sponsored by Flight by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. Then, once you've conquered the course, we'll keep the party rolling at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, where the drinks are cold, the food is hot, and the stories are even better. Get ready to tee off on the best Monday you'll have all year. Grab your spot now at sasportstar.com. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Houston Texans tight end Brevin Jordan suffered a lower leg injury in practice today, was carted off the field. We are awaiting updates as he undergoes MRI and further testing. The Texans did add some depth in wake of the C.J. Gardner-Johnson injury, which was less than expected. They signed veteran defensive back Jalen Mills, while the Texas Longhorns, for the first time ever, they'll start this preseason AP Top 25 as number 1.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I'm James Pledger. Appreciate y'all joining me, however y'all may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you are watching our show live on YouTube. That's right. All of our shows stream live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe while you're there. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or feel free to call and have a conversation with me. 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. I always appreciate the conversation. Lots to get into as NFL football all over the place. As you heard, more injuries taking shape, coupled with the Cowboys from their game. Joe Milton, bruised elbow, should be fine day to day. Although offensive lineman Shadiq Charles suffered a hyperextended knee in the loss. Now, same thing's happening across the league. We saw Landon Dickerson go down. That's going to be a tough one for the Philadelphia Eagles, although much like C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the Houston Texans seems to be less than initially expected. You can only hope the same for Brevin Jordan and the Houston Texans as well. As he went down, he was working his way back from an early season ACL injury, was doing very well in camp. It sucks to see things like that, but is a part of the game. And it's one of the reasons Micah Parsons' back is tight right now, because if you're looking to get your next deal, you don't put yourself in harm's way. And I think that's a smart way for Micah to go about these things. When it comes to the Cowboys and what we saw from their preseason opener, well, AJ Hoffman was talking about it this morning on the Morning Huddle with what we saw from Shotty's first game as a head coach / offensive play caller, first time play caller in a while, and Joe Milton and what we saw with that very, very depleted defense.
I play a coach on television sometimes, but I am not a coach. I'm not a coach of football. If I were a coach and say my projected starting left tackle were injured, and at this point seemingly unlikely to play in week 1. And I knew my backup was a young player who has not seen many snaps at the NFL level. Personally, I would use the preseason to let him play football, just to kind of give him the feel. And Nathan Thomas, who's listed at number 1 on the depth chart right now, with Tyler Guyton projected to be, or I shouldn't say projected to be. They try to lean toward the positive up at the Star. I still want to say Valley Ranch, but the Star. They still lean to that. I guess right now they're in Oxnard, so it's not even there. But Nathan Richards is going to start week 1. Nathan Richards played 9 snaps. 9 times he was on the 9 snaps for a guy who really has seen no football at the NFL level. It seems like, I know you don't want to risk injury. I get that. And there's a reason why, like I said, the Rams didn't put Jimmy Garoppolo out there, because they know their starters hurt and they know what they've got in Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think you know what you've got in Nathan Thomas. I think in this instance, the prudent thing to do would have been to give Nathan Thomas some run. And not, I mean, again, they could have just sat him out altogether. 9 plays is better than 0 plays, but feels like 9 is still a low number for a guy that you're going to say week 1, hey, line up here against the defending world champions. I probably would give him, a couple more than 9 snaps. Elsewhere on the offensive line, I know Asim Richards is a second-year guy, 5th-round pick. I know he's not a savior. I know there's no one's expecting anything out of him. But, like, back-to-back illegal formation penalties, those are the types of things that even in the preseason, coaches go, does he have a concussion? Like, what's happening here? Just dumb stuff that gives you almost no chance to make a football team. So, as bad as the Cowboys line was a year ago, and it was bad last year, I'm not sure it's going to be any better this year. And I know there were the thought was, well, they drafted and they drafted a guy number 1. That's great. And Tyler Booker, I think, might be one of the bright spots on this offensive line. But
did you have a problem with him not playing either?
No.
To get a couple reps in.
Would I have? Yeah, I probably would have preferred him get a couple reps. But again, he's one of the guys who, at some point, you circle guys on your depth chart that you say, okay, I'm going to feel comfortable having him out there week 1. And I think he's probably circled. You know what I mean? Like, it's at some point you say, okay, this guy knows what he's, and of course, a lot of that comes in practice too. But he's your 1st-round draft pick. I didn't have a problem. Would I have liked to see it? Yeah, I probably would have liked to see him play a little. But your 1st-round draft pick, I think I would have had him out there. And the alternative to that is what the Eagles did. Landon Dickerson, they've got, an all-pro level interior lineman. They ran out there this weekend, and he got carted off the field. I guess that was practice, but it's the same thing. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to be how your guys leave the game. But for a team that was so bad at offensive line last year, I think you really have to grind these guys in the preseason and try and get this camaraderie, try to get this cohesion. And Saturday was not a good day for that. It was ugly. And I know you're also still trying to find out who's going to make this team. And some of the guys who are, you're trying to figure out who's your swing guys. I get that. But some of these guys clearly need more reps than what they're getting. And maybe game 2 and game 3 of the preseason are different. I would say, I always think now, like, it's hard to know what different coaches have different philosophies, I should say. Used to it was the 3rd preseason game was like the most like a real NFL game.
The dress rehearsal.
Yeah. And then the 4th preseason game was, scrubbies.
The people who are trying to make the team.
Yeah. Now there's no fourth preseason game, and it seems like there's never a dress rehearsal game now. It seems like that's the game that they scratched. But there's some of these teams, and the Cowboys fall into that, where I feel like you probably need to dress rehearse a little. You probably need to figure some things out. And like I said, offensive line particularly. And it's not just the Cowboys doing this. There's other teams that have guys who clearly need reps that they're protecting. Caleb Williams comes to mind. The Bears and winning and losing in preseason doesn't matter a single bit. Let's remember that. But it's a 24-24, a tie game. Never even considered putting Caleb Williams in the game. I don't know if Caleb Williams is ever going to get good at football. Right now, I know Caleb Williams is not good. Caleb Williams is the projected starter for the Chicago Bears. I feel like the thing to do would be to maybe get some work in for him, see if he can get better at football before it counts.
Especially with the new offense.
You know, those are the things that make sense to me. But apparently, again, like I started this segment, I'm not a football coach. I just play one on the radio sometimes. No, I thought that the offensive line was arguably the offensive line and the defensive line were arguably the worst parts of the game. I thought for the Cowboys this weekend, and it doesn't come as any surprise because I think that's the parts of their game that are going to struggle all season long. You cannot be a physical, tough, gritty. You can't have this identity of bully football if you don't have the personnel to play bully football. Like, I can't start a basketball team, Edwin, with you at center and say we're just going to dominate people physically with our size because you're not a big person. It just doesn't track. So you can say all you want, we want this identity, but if you don't have the people to do it, then what are we even talking about? And I was hoping this weekend was going to be a chance for Shotty to prove me wrong and to shut me up about this physicality and this toughness. I walked away from that game feeling no different than I went into it, thinking this team does not have the people to be a tough, physical football team.
Look, it's tough. Like Shotty has said multiple times, playing with a 7-iron, vanilla, not showing a whole lot. And there were offensive line penalties, and that's, you're not starting your starters. There were 32 first-round picks. 2 of them didn't play because they were injured. 29 did play. 1 could have played but did not. His name was Tyler Booker. The only first-round pick that was healthy that did not play this preseason so far. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Does the starting offensive line need to play together?
Yeah, I think they have to play some. I think what's the magic number? I don't think that there is a magic number. I think we get some great work against our guys every day. But, I do think that they need to play some. I think most young players need to play some. And I think you'll see that when you watch us line up against Baltimore this week.
I hope so, because I do think that's important. It's hard to simulate real reps when you're not tackling to the ground, and I understand the risks involved. But as Shotty said today, there's only one way to get better at playing football.
What happens is if you do the beanie day on Friday and your vets don't play, so Friday they kind of get it off. They don't play Saturday. The mandatory day off is Sunday. Today they come back in and you can't practice because the guys played in the game are sore and you wouldn't do that. So the next thing you know, you're 4 days of not doing anything. And I don't believe that that's the best way it's too long. It's too long a period for these guys to not be playing football. How do you get good at football? You play football. And so the way we structured the practice schedule is the guys not playing in the game or limited in the game, they got 24 reps, and the guys that were going to play quite a bit in the game got 12 reps. And so I think that's very manageable. I think the guys worked hard. I challenged them to work hard, and that's the formula we'll keep going with.
To get better at football, you got to play football. And at some point, I think Shaddy's got to take his own advice with that, because the less you play, the more things like this, I think, pop up. And I think this is just a product of new scheme, early, lots of young players in there. But we've seen it before with the Cowboys. The penalties are an issue.
To have 6 pre-snap penalties on the offense is awful. It's awful, and it's not going to be accepted. Like, we're not going to allow that to happen. We're told the guys today, if you're going to commit pre-snap penalties, which means I can't line up the right way as an offensive lineman, I shave my motions, and we're not going to play you. Why? Because why would you put yourself at a disadvantage and say, hey, I'm going to cost myself 5 yards here, and next, and again, the officials did a good job. They're trying to warn us, and so we went back and we've defined again. Second time, hit the define the way we talk about our offensive lineman alignment, level 1, level 2, all those things, but. Yeah, if we're not a disciplined football team, that starts with me as the head coach and the coaching staff.
I like him taking accountability. I also like him shifting the accountability to the players and saying, look, if you're going to continue to jump off sides, we can't play you, and you're going to get replaced. That is the way it should be. It shouldn't be about whether you're a starter. It shouldn't be about whether you make a lot of money, whether you're a high draft pick. Performance dictates play. That's the way it should be. That's the way the good teams handle things. We'll see if he's a man of his word as we continue throughout the preseason and see these depth charts moved around as we see more from these people in the game. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, there's a lot of talk surrounding Project Marvel and a strategic pause that the mayor wants to put in place. Well, there's good news with that. There's bad news with that. We'll discuss it all when we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Want to see Dallas take on Atlanta at AT&T Stadium? AARP is hooking you up.
I want winners.
Just head to sasportstar.com and register to win a pair of tickets to the Cowboys' final preseason game, Friday, August 22nd at 6 p.m.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
It's your chance to catch America's team live before the regular season kicks off.
I like this kind of party.
From AARP and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 21st and 22nd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas.
Details and discounted rooms with promo code BLITZ available online at sasportstar.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
It's the last weekend of quarter horse racing season at Retama Park. And every Saturday night, cheer on the Weedy Dogs as they race for big prizes. Nothing beats quarter horse racing when you get playpen rewards with every wager. For all the details, visit retamapark.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Gilbert P. says, at some point, as a player, you got to be disciplined in your practice. And that's true. At some point, it does fall on the player. It can fall on the coach as much as it can. But at some point, the player has to take some responsibility or not be getting reps. And that's where I believe the coach has to take over and stuff like in that situation. You have to make your point. And sometimes to make your point, you have to be willing to demote. Take the way whether it's a spot in the depth chart, a spot in the lineup, a rotation, whatever it may be, you have to have some teeth with your punishment to the player, and it's got to strike a nerve with them to make them want to change their ways. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to disciplining players these days is a lot of people, because of what they make, because of their status, whatever it may be, they feel safe and they feel that they don't have to. And unfortunately, especially with the Cowboys, there are not enough people that have enough oomph anymore, especially on that offensive line, to warrant that. You've got Tyler Smith. That's it. I think Cooper Beebe is going to be a really, really good player. I have really high expectations for Tyler Booker, but he's earned and has nothing. And the guys that were playing in the game yesterday, you hope they're good depth, but they also have to start adhering to the rules. So you have to penalize them to show them there are repercussions for their actions. And I think that's the most important thing is repercussions, accountability. Those are words, things that have to mean something in football. And it's like with the Micah Parsons trauma. He has to show that he means business against Jerry Jones, or else he might not ever see that contract extension. Do I expect an end to this anytime soon? I don't know. Do I expect this to get done? I do. Would it shock me if Micah means business and he's just done because he feels betrayed? Absolutely not. All options are on the table because at this point, as fans, we're all tired of seeing it. Remember to call and check on the ones you love. You never know what people are going through in life. We'll be back tomorrow right here. But coming up next for you, we got Rangers Diamondbacks right here on your home for the Rangers, San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.